a second. All right, everyone. We have Mellissa Reaves, and Mellissa is a CDH mom and one of our volunteers. And I'm going to let her share her story of how her family came to learn about CDH and what brought her here to CDH International.
Hi guys. I'm Mellissa, as Dawn had just said. We learned about CDH at our 21-week anatomy scan. Allie was our first baby, and we were very excited to find out we were having a little girl. Well, during the ultrasound, the technician kept taking an awful long time. At least that's how I felt. I didn't know, my first baby. I didn't think it should take that long. And she just had some very odd looks on her face. After the ultrasound, we went to a normal room and my OBGYN came in, and that's when we first heard of CDH. Of course, we didn't know what it was. It terrified us. We couldn't help but try to find, research about it on Google. Bad thing to do, but that's all we really had. But he took really good care of us. He got us to where we needed to be for Allie. We've seen so many doctors between Johnson City in Tennessee and Nashville, Tennessee. And at first, with Allie, her prognosis was good, with her only having her stomach in her chest. And then it was probably about 2 months afterwards, her prognosis went from good to bad because her intestines end up moving into her chest, and then her liver started moving into her chest. And that's when the game plan changed from us originally going to have her in Johnson City to us having her in Nashville. And that was scary because they wanted us to be up there a couple months beforehand just in case if she were to come early. But we didn't get to be up there until about 2 weeks before she was born. And at first I was going to be by myself because my husband did have to work, and at the time I wasn't working. Luckily, my mom came through. She was a trooper. She stayed with me. And we had a couple doctor appointments the week prior to her being born. And the day that she was born, they did what I call practice contractions. I don't know if that's what everybody else calls them. And they had said that with each contraction that I had, that her heart rate would drop. And they decided just to give me and her a little rest until later on that morning, they went full blown putting me in labor. Well, we went about 8 hours. I wasn't dilating much. And it got to the point to where they just said we had to have a C-section because we had to get her out now. And of course, I didn't get to see her. They told us that we wouldn't get to hear her cry, but she gave us hope. Whenever they pulled her out, we heard 2 little tiny cries that just reminded me of like a little kitten. And it was about 4 hours after that before I got to see her, and she was just so tiny, so fragile. I didn't know what to think of her, and it scared me with everything that she was hooked up to. But she blew all the doctors away during her NICU stay. She was there for about 6 weeks, and they were amazed of how well she did.
And so no problems from then until now?
I was hoping you would ask that. Now she's had a few hiccups. About 5 months old, she started having reflex really bad, and we went to the emergency room and her doctor, her normal doctor, a lot of times because we had feared it was a bowel obstruction. Because she would just end up throwing up so much. And she did have to have physical therapy. She started that whenever she was 4 months old up until she was almost 2. And then from the time that she was 2 to 3 years old, she did speech therapy. Now at 18 months old, we had been told several times that if she was going to have a bowel obstruction caused by the malrotation of her intestines, it would have done happen, which is the reason why we went to the emergency room and her doctor multiple times whenever her reflex was acting up. Well, at 18 months old, the fear became a reality, and she did end up having a bowel obstruction caused by malrotation of her intestines. And at that point, I was kind of irritated with every doctor and nurse that we had come across. And she ended up at a hospital here. We took her to the emergency room. They had already suspected that it was a bowel obstruction, so they took her by ambulance to East Tennessee Children's Hospital to be watched over. And I can't say in words how I would like to describe one of the doctors, but he was not very professional with how he handled her. But she did have quite a few other nurses and doctors that helped her with that. And she did have surgery to correct the bowel obstruction. And she's not really had anything else other than complaining of some stomach pain here and there. And she is a pretty normal kiddo. She runs around and plays, but she does talk about how sometimes she has to take a break whenever she runs from where her left lung is smaller, because she did have the left-sided CDH. So I think she knows her limits. She knows when to slow down, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And she does see her, I call her the person that saved her life, which is Dr. Danko. She's the one that did her CDH repair at Vanderbilt. She does see her yearly, which of course this year we won't be seeing her until later on once everything is hopefully cleared up.
So, Allie, can we see your beautiful little face? Hi. Do you know that you're a cherub? Do you know you're special? You do? Yeah. You are pretty cute too. So what's your favorite thing in the whole world? What?
My favorite thing is playing my Barbie house, play with Barbies upstairs.
Barbies. I like Barbies too.
Yeah, but my favorite stuff I have is brothers. My other brother's at home. He's called Bronson.
Okay.
He likes playing my Barbie house a lot of times.
That sounds like fun. And and this is your little brother too?
It's brother.
Your brother.
It's brother.
Can you tell everybody your name?
Can you say your name? You say Ryder. Usually he calls everybody else his name. He'll say, "Okay, Ryder. Let's go, Ryder."
Hi, Ryder. So these guys did video for the lip sync contest a couple weeks ago. Did a great job.
He's lost something. I don't know what.
Oh. Wow. Well, I mean, she looks amazing, and she's doing really good right now, and no issues at the moment at all.
No, other than her complaining of stomach pain, which it could be anything. She has had issues of constipation, and sometimes she likes to eat a lot of macaroni and cheese. So we fear that might be the suspect in all of this. But we do plan on getting her to a new GI doctor, because she did used to see one before, because she was diagnosed with failure. I'm leaving out a lot of things that I'm just now remembering. She did used to see a GI doctor for failure to thrive. And we quit seeing him because she did start to gain weight, but I didn't feel like he was the best choice for her. So we're going to get a referral as soon as possible for her to go to a new one. But other than that, other than her complaining of stomach pain, she's been fine. fighting
And
with her brothers.
that's always a good sign. And how old is she now?
She just turned 5 in March.
And she looks at average size for a 5-year-old. So she's right on the growth chart then, or is she small?
She's actually really small.
Oh,
I believe the last time we went, they said that she was in, I think, the 20th percentile for height and weight.
okay.
So, which I was really scrawny as a kid, and they're suspecting that that might be why she's really small. But of course, they definitely do want to keep an eye on it, and her normal pediatrician does want her to see a GI doctor soon too. I mean, whenever she actually started pre-K this year, and compared to all the other kids in her class, she looked like the runt of the litter. She really did.
That's fairly common with these kids to be smaller. You just have to find out what is her normal and what her the right size for her is, but they usually are small. And we have a few who are average or above average, but they're not the common um the typical cherub at all. But well, she looks amazing. Well, let's talk about you, Mellissa. You have been working so hard.
They always,
Oh,
always.
She likes to tell stories about her friends at school.
oh, okay.
Sounds watch a movie. Actually,
I have one over here with the flashlight. Okay.
what
Um, well, let's talk about your volunteer work because you have been going nonstop since, I don't know, November, December, working on the awareness team, um, working on light ups for us, and then, helping with social media posts. And you pretty much help anytime I ask, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I mean, you've been a lifesaver the past couple of months. You really have. I really appreciate it. Um, but you got some really big achievements this year on the awareness team. You got the Eiffel Tower to light up, which we've never been able to do in 10 years. So I just want to say hats off to you for that. Great job. Um, it's sad that we have a pandemic going on and we couldn't get video of it, but that's okay. It's still lit up. It's still on their website. People of Paris can see it. And hopefully we can get it again next year and have some CDH families who are in France there to take photos and videos. But you got a lot of light ups. I mean, every day I saw you in there working on that, and we really appreciate it so much. Do you want to talk about your volunteer work or?
I don't know what much to say. I mean, I can be a very determined person, and that's what I was with doing this volunteer work because I want people to understand. Because ever since Allie was born, I have preached and preached and preached, and it seems like no one's listening. And I'm sorry,
It's okay.
but there for a while, I kind of thought that I was not the only one, but that there wasn't really any support for other kids like Allie. Because we actually didn't learn of CDH International until after she was a year old. And I was like, oh, I was like, that would have been nice to know whenever, I was pregnant with her, which I'm hoping that we can change that too. I was going to talk to Dr. Danko about maybe getting some brochures and stuff for other families that come in because we're not the only ones. Ever since we've gone there, I've known at least, I think, 4 other families that have had CDH babies. But whenever I can't remember if it was you or Tracy. I think it was Tracy that informed me last year of the conference. I was like, you know what? I was like, I want to go to that. I was like, we're going to go. And then I was, just listening to everyone and listening to all the ways that you can help. Not you, but me, other people. And I was like, I want to help. I want to do this. I want to actually be a part of something and not just raise awareness for, you know, Allie, but for all the other kids like her, because she got to meet other kids like her there. And it felt normal. It felt good for a change, because she's came across other kids before that, I don't know, they just act like they don't want to have anything to do with her. But there, it just seemed like she was with her own people. I was like, okay, like, we're going to do this.
Well, we are your people. So you guys are stuck with us. We're CDH family for life. Literally, like it's like the mafia. Once you're a part of this, you don't get out. You're stuck with us forever. But no, it was great to see you guys at the conference, and that's the best part for us, is to see families meet other families for the first time and to feel like you're around people who understand what you're going through, and that's absolutely the best part of it for us. But I just want to say thank you for volunteering, and especially with, a house full of kids in the middle of a quarantine, and you're still working away for us. And I know it's not easy because, it's hard right now on everyone, and we appreciate all your help to raise awareness, because you're right. It's like we're beating our head against the wall trying to get the world to hear that these kids exist, and it's going to take a lot of us working together, screaming that these kids are here. And I love that you're determined. That's what we need, determined volunteers who understand the frustration and who want to get the word out. And I just want to say thank you, Mellissa, on behalf of the charity, and thank you for me personally for all your help. I mean, really, you've been a lifesaver, and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to working with you a lot more.
You're
And
welcome.
hopefully seeing you guys at the next conference, which I hope will be next year. I hope we'll be able to do that, and life will get back to normal. So,
I hope so.
but thank you, and I think that's it. Unless you have anything else you'd like to tell everyone.
I don't think so right now. I rambled on, and I get nervous, and whenever I do, I talk way too fast. So I'm very, very sorry for that.
No, you did a great job. I do the same thing. You did a great job. Thank you.
You're welcome.